Hello, everyone. Good evening. All right. Hello, everyone. Are you there? Please let me know. Mic check. Let me know if you can hear me. Mic check, everybody. Mic check. Mic check. Please let me know if you can hear me. Mic check, please. Awesome. 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 Okay, great. I trust your weekend was good. It's the beginning of a new week, and we're glad to be here again today. Okay. So today we have a very interesting topic before us. An exciting topic actually. Something that I believe everybody will be interested in, which is about. I mean, before I go into I'll go into the topic shortly, but um based on our conversation from last week, I hope we have been able to take steps. I hope we have studied the people that are currently doing what we're doing. I hope we now have a clear roadmap as to how we want to increase our knowledge, as to how we want to upskill, as to what we want to do in terms of gaining more knowledge. It's very, very important. And if you were not here last week, I would advise you to please listen to the class. It will help you greatly. Okay, so very quickly we go to the next slide. So if you are not here, if this is your first time here, or if you've probably never joined the class when I introduce myself. So here's me. My name is Ololade Akingbade, and I have 6 years of experience in administration and customer success. Joint experience. I started out as a personal assistant, and then I moved on from there to becoming an executive assistant. And then currently I work with with a tech company, a fintech company more specifically, and I work as a partner success specialist. Okay, so that's that about me. However, I want us to have a very quick icebreaker session this morning. Well, I believe a lot of us here have um gone on Instagram this morning, right? Or today, even if not this morning, maybe today you've gone on Instagram. So tell me, how long did you think it took you to browse Instagram this morning or today? How long do you think it took? And if you have not gone on Instagram, what social app have you gone on? I mean, it doesn't have to be Instagram. It could be X. It could be anything. So what social app have you gone on? How long do you think it took you to browse that app this morning? How long do you think it took you to browse that app this morning? Because we're waiting for your responses. Waiting for your responses, everyone. Okay, someone says 10 to 20 minutes. All right. Okay, WhatsApp. How long did it take you to browse WhatsApp this morning? Facebook, 15 minutes. Okay, great. Um, okay, you don't have an Insta account, but you browsed on WhatsApp for 5 minutes. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, Google Workspace, 1 hour. All right. Can't remember the last time I entered Instagram. I thought about 10 minutes on Facebook. I'm so busy to pay attention to those. Okay, awesome. 1 hour 30 minutes. Okay. All right. I mean, Instagram is not, if you're using Instagram responsibly, I mean, it's not a bad thing to do, right? It's only if you're excessively using Instagram or you're addicted, that one has become a problem. But if you are being responsible with how you use Instagram, then I mean, there's no problem at all. And there are people who are actually social media managers, and that's like their office. Okay, so WhatsApp more than 3 hours is stretch. Okay, 30 minutes. All right. Thank you very much for your answers, everybody. Now I have it. Now, before I want to ask you, now you can see there's a sentence on the there's a sentence on this on the screen, right? And it says time is valuable for a virtual assistant. If you were to type this 10 times on your phone, or your notepad, on whatever it is you want to type, how long do you think it would take you? So if you were to type time is valuable for a virtual assistant 10 times, like if you were to type it 10 times, 10 times, time is valuable for a virtual assistant, if you type it 10 times, how long do you think it would take you to type it out? How long do you think? I'm not saying you should do it. I'm only asking just based off of maybe your skill, your typing speed, how well you are used to your phone or your device. How long do you think it would take you to type this 10 times? 10 times. Time is valuable for a virtual assistant 10 times. How long? Okay, someone says 3 minutes. Another person said 1 minute. Another person said 30 seconds. All right. Another person said, let's say 2 minutes or 5 minutes, 3 minutes. Okay. All right. Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much, everyone who has answered so far. Now, I want us to now actually do it, but this time we are actually going to time yourself. Please ensure you actually time yourself. Hold on, I'm going to tell you when to start. Please don't start yet. I'll tell you when to start, but you have to time yourself. So either you get your timer, if you have like a timer, if you have a second device where you can use a timer, or you have your wristwatch or your watch or something to check when you started and when you'd end it. Okay, so I want you to type it. You can type it on the comment section here if you're on YouTube, or if you're in the LMS. Type it out 10 times. You can start now, and once you're done, I want to know how long it took you to type. Please do not forget how long you said it was going to take you to type initially. Don't forget that time. Now that you are actually going to type it out, I want you to also note how long it took you to type it out. So type out time is valuable for a virtual assistant 10 times. You can start. 1, 2, go. 10 times. 10 times. Time is valuable for a virtual assistant 10 times. And let me know how long it took you to type it out. Please ensure you're timing yourself. How long? Time is valuable, not value. Valuable for a virtual assistant. Time is valuable for a virtual assistant 10 times. It has to be 10. It has to be 10 times. You can type it out anywhere, but ensure you're timing yourself. Time is valuable for a virtual assistant 10 times. Okay, so please type it out. When you're done, I want you to type out how long you initially said it was going to take you to type, and how long it now actually took you to type. Right? So when you're done, please type out how long it took you to. Initially, you said, oh, it was going to take me this. Now it took me this to actually type it out. So I'm waiting to see your answers. I want to draw out something from your answers. So it has to be correct. Please, no guesses. Okay. The first one was a guess. The second one should be the actual thing. Okay. So when you're typing out your response, just tell me guess time, whatever, actual time. I want to know. Okay. So I want to know what your guessed, the time you guessed, and the actual time it took. Once you're done, please don't forget to time yourself. You're timing yourself. Please. Very important. Once you're done, let me know how long it took you to type out, how long you initially guessed, and currently how long it took you to actually type it out. So I need 2 times from you. Total first time, how long it took you, and now how long it actually take you. Okay, so somebody said, oh gosh, I missed that comment. Oh, I missed the comment now. So let me see if I can find it. I can't even find it. Someone said, okay, so let me just see. I need to see 2 times. Okay, Grace Stevens said she thought it would take 2 minutes. Sorry, it take 5 minutes, but it took a minute. Okay. She said it took a minute. Bolaji Christiana, how long did you say? So I need 2 times from you. If you are posting anything, this is your how long did you initially say was going to take you, and how long did it actually take you? So the first time, okay, Abimbola said it took her 2 minutes, but she guessed 1 minute. For Rukia, we're 26 seconds. What time is that? 26 seconds. Is it the time you initially said, or the time it actually took you? So I'm only going to be reading the responses of people who actually who will give me like 2 times. The first one, which is the initial one that you guessed, and the actual one. So Israela said she guessed 2 minutes, and the actual time 2 minutes. Okay, great. So Onochie said it would take 2 minutes, but it took a minute and 26 seconds. All right. Okay. All right. I'm not reading the other responses because you're not telling me, you're not giving me 2 times. I'm trying to do an estimate. I'm trying to do a comparison. So if you give me only 1 time, I can't work with it. I need 2. The first one, what's the initial time you guessed, and what actually is. All right, Aisha said she wrote 1 minute, but she used 57 seconds. Okay. Anastasia said she guessed 10 minutes, but it took her 5 minutes. All right. Okay. Akinyele Joy said she guessed 2 minutes, and it took her 3 minutes. Okay. 5 minutes, actual time 2 minutes. All right. Okay. Bolaji said 4 minutes, but it took her 1 minute. All right. Binde Tina said she said 4 minutes, but it took her 2 minutes. Okay. Onache said 2 minutes, but it took her 1 minute and 26 seconds. Confidence said she thought it would take her 4 minutes, but it actually took her 3 minutes. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Francis said she thought it would take 5 minutes, but it took her 3 minutes. Faith said she guessed 1 minute, but it took her 2 minutes. Ajao Blessing said she guessed 5 minutes, and it took her 1 minute 5 seconds. Okay, fantastic. Now, this icebreaker session that we had will be referred to along the line. However, you see, one thing is time tracking is extremely important as a VA, especially if you're going to be working as a freelance VA. That is, if you're going to be working on taking on a lot of clients, taking on different clients, you don't want to work for a company, you just want to work for clients on your own. Time tracking is very important. And based off this exercise that we just had, I would explain further on the need to actually track your time, even as we go into today's class. All right, so let us go into today's class proper. Financial management. Maybe now, again, in the chat, I want you to tell me how many of you really thought about financial management. Like, did you not really think, like, I just want to make money. I just want to, I just want to get the clients. I just want to get the bag. I just really want to make money. How many of you really, like, when you were thinking about, starting out your career in in virtual assistant, how many of you really even thought about, I need to do finance? Now, please note that I did not say make money, right? Because you can make money and you're not managing your money properly. So how many of you really thought about financial management? Like, when you were thinking about, I want to start out as a VA, I want to transition to VA, to virtual assistant. How many of you really thought about financial management as part of the things you think you need to put in place? Please tell me. If you did, say I did. If you did not, say I did not. If you did, say I did. And if you did not, say I did not. Like, I'm not saying making money, because I believe everybody, that's probably the first thing we even thought about. Right? I'm not saying making money. I know everybody thought about making money, but I'm talking about in terms of putting structure financially to your career. How many of you? Like I said, it's not making money. Everybody thought about making money, yes. But in terms of financial management, how many of you thought about it that as I'm going into this career, I need to think about financial management? How many of you? If you did, say I did. If you did not, say I did not. No judgment. That's why we're all here. We're all here to learn, okay? So no judgment zone at all. If you did not, it's absolutely fine. We're all here to learn. And if you did, don't put it there. Tell me you did. Okay. Precious said she did not. Deborah said she did not. Sam Kike said she did not. Gift said she did. Vivian said she did not. Julius Damia said she did not. Okechukwu Fetchi said she did not. Amaka Martha says she did not. Mayowa said she did. Pascaline said she did somewhat. Ayotunde said she did not. Confidence says she did not. Rosalind says she hasn't yet. Eniola says she did not. Okay, great, amazing, fantastic. So, as a virtual assistant, so one thing you should understand is we're not here. The curriculum here is very robust. Okay, it's a very robust curriculum. So you can see that we're not just teaching you how to, oh, this is what you need to do, be a virtual, like we're equipping you to become professionals in your field, right? We're equipping you such that's why you see like you have topics like this. That's because we're thinking beyond just acquiring the knowledge. It's one thing to acquire knowledge, it's another thing to project yourself as a professional so that you can command the kind of money that I know a lot of you would want to command. All right, so with that, we'll begin today's class. Financial management, very important. Now, introduction to financial management and time tracking as a virtual assistant. Okay, now financial management is the practice. Before I proceed, today's class is also going to be very hands-on. We're going to be doing a lot of exercises in today's class. So I would tell you, like I'll prompt you when it's time for exercises. Okay, so please get your devices ready. We're going to be working today. All right, so financial management is the practice of planning, organizing, and controlling financial activities to ensure stability and growth. Please note that I did not say it is the process of planning and organizing and controlling your money. I said financial activities to ensure you are stable as a VA and also to ensure that you grow. Because sometimes how you manage your finances, how you manage your financial activities can even determine the kind of clients that you would even command. By command, I mean the kind of clients that you attract towards you. So again, when you saw financial management and you were just thinking, okay, it's not to collect money and to collect money, please just do away with that mindset. It's way deeper than that. Okay? Financial management is the practice of planning, organizing, and controlling financial activities, please. I didn't say your money. I didn't say it is the act of planning your money or how to collect your money or how to. It is financial because it's all encompassing. Okay? It's all encompassing. All right. Thank you. So, why is financial management important? Okay? Why? Why is it important? Why do we think financial management is important? It ensures you get paid accurately and on time. It ensures you get paid accurately and on time. It ensures you're not being underpaid. It ensures you're not undercharging yourself. Now, let's go back to the example, the icebreaker that we had. Imagine if you came, maybe I was a client, for example, and I came to one of you and I said, oh, I need you to help me do a task. And you did not really think about it. You said, yes, I will do it. I will charge XYZ amount for it. After all, it will just take me. And then you charged me, you told me you're going to charge this amount. And then when you started the task, you realized that this task is taking all the time. You did not know, you thought you were going to spend only 2 hours, whereas we are spending 8 hours on the task. What's going on? But you can't come back to me to say, sorry, I said I charged you 50,000 for this job. I'm really sorry. It's not more. That's not professional of you. So to avoid instances like that, you see this is why financial management is important, because it will help you get paid on time. It will help you organize. It will help you get paid accurately, first of all, because you are charging correctly. You are not undercharging yourself and you are not overcharging yourself. That is why financial management is important. It is also important because it will help you organize and budget for future projects. Because you now understand, because you have been properly managing your finances, you are able to forecast, you are able to budget what a future project will take. When a prospective client comes to you, when it comes to pricing, because you are managing, you have been able to put structures and systems in place to manage your finances. When a prospect comes to you, you know what you are charging. You're not chewing your mouth. You're not going to get low ball because you already have systems in place to manage your finances. Also, it would also allow you to plan for taxes and other business expenses, because I hope you know that as children of God, we should pay tax. Paying of taxes is very biblical, and it is even in the New Testament because Jesus Christ paid tax, right? So, allowing it allows you to plan for taxes. So you know how much you know that you are not going to overcharge or undercharge. And even also paying, I also need to also chip this in. Paying of taxes is actually very important, because sometimes when you want to apply for opportunities abroad, or apply for things, or apply for grants, or apply for something, they will ask you to bring your tax identification number, your tax ID. They want to see how much of a tax paying citizen you have been. Do you get it? And when you come and then you don't even have anything to show for it, but your account statement does not show that you've been receiving inflow and outflow. I mean, you've been getting inflow rather. It doesn't correlate. So tax paying is very important um as if you're a freelancer. If you're not a freelancer, you don't really have an option. If you work with a company, you will automatically deduct tax from your salary. So that's really not, you don't have much of a say there. But if you are a freelancer, it's important that you keep track so that you can remit your taxes as at when due. Okay, so just want to add that. Also, it also helps you to it also gives you a clear picture of your financial health. You know how you're doing, you know if you are growing. Because I hope you know that the fact that you're getting jobs every day is not the only indicator to which you're growing. It's not the only indicator. The fact that every day I'm getting one job, well, it's not. Sometimes you might be getting jobs and you are actually not even growing as a VA. So when you manage your finances properly, and you see why I said this is not just the action of collecting money from your clients, it's way deeper than that. So when you do these things, it just gives you an insight into how your health, your financial health as a virtual assistant is. Okay. All right. Now moving on. Time tracking, which is what we just did. Time tracking in financial management, which is what we did, the icebreaker that we did. I told you to track your time on a particular task. And that is a habit I need you to start to inculcate. Because if you're a freelancer, you are getting paid for your time. That's it. You are getting paid for your time. And you don't want a situation whereby you are using more time than you're being paid for. But how then do you ensure that you are charging accurately when you don't even track the time that you spend on tasks? Also, you don't want to also be in a position where you are overcharging the client. A task that should take you 9 hours, that should take you 2 hours. You said, oh please, this task looks like it'll take me 5 hours. Let me just give them. And the client sees it, and the client feels like you want to cheat them, and then you lose a client. So you see why it is very important to ensure that you balance things properly. Okay? So now, time tracking. Time tracking is crucial to ensure you are billing clients accurately and effectively managing your workload. If, for example, you have five, maybe you have 5 clients. First client comes, gives you their job, second client comes. When you track your time properly, you would know if you are able to take on more clients or not. Because you already know that on this particular task, this task this person has given me will take me 2 hours. And in a day, I know I have 8 hours to work. This person has given me a task that'll take me 2 hours. Another person has given me another task that'll take me 4 hours. That's 6 hours. So it means I have only 2 hours left to spare. If somebody else comes and give you a task of 5 hours and the person needs it that same day, what does that tell you? Because you are tracking your time, you know that, sorry, madam, I'm not able to deliver this task today. Can I move it to tomorrow, or can I move it to, You are able to negotiate your time that way. Unlike when you don't even know, you're not tracking your time, you don't even have an idea, you don't even know what goes. They bring anything they bring, you're like, I can take it. You know the way Nigerians will say, Nigerians say, just I can do everything, bring everything. It's I'll tell you what I cannot do. It doesn't work like that here because, like I said here, you're being groomed to become a professional. You're not being groomed to just be any just do anyhow. No. So that helps you track and manage your time and even take on, the kind of workload, how you're able to manage your workload. Because you won't want a situation whereby you delete you tell you promise a client, oh, your work will be ready by XYZ day, and then the person comes and like, sorry, I didn't know that job would take me 2 hours. I didn't know. I thought it was going to take me only 30 minutes. So when I started, madam, I now realize I have to do research. I have to. That's nobody's gonna listen. That's not how to. I mean, nobody. Yeah, you have lost a potential client. You have lost a receiver. That person will just. If the person is really really kind, the person will just say, okay, no problem. But that's the end. The person's not gonna come back. If the person is really one of those, they will be very mad at you, and they can even tell you to refund their money. So you don't want to get yourself involved in that kind of drama, which is why you need to be able to track your time so you can know how much you can take part time. And when you know that, oh, more jobs are coming beyond what you can take, and now renegotiate your time, or you can get more hands and then begin to delegate. Are we following? Please let me know if you're following. Please let me know if you're following. I need feedback. Please let me know if we are following. Very important. I need feedback, please. Feedback. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you very much for following. Also, another benefit of time tracking, right, is it will help you prioritize your tasks. Okay, so let me go back. Let me give an example of accurate billing, right? You can confidently bill your client. So, for example, if you are a VA, maybe you are working with maybe a SaaS company, and your client reaches out to you and tells you, oh, I want you to give me a task, a product demo. I want you to do like a product. I hope you know what product demo is. Product demo is basically where, how do I explain this? It's where you show a client, like your client's client, if you understand what I'm saying. So let's say you're working with a SaaS company called ABC SaaS company or ABC FinTech company, and they have a new product they just released, and then they want you to show their clients how to use that product, demo the product to the client, show the client the benefit of that product, show them the value in that product, walk them through how to use it. That's product demo. That's like in a nutshell, basically. So if you have a client that comes to me and says, oh, I want you um to demo products to my clients. How much you do charge me based on that? Like, you already know, right? And they tell you, okay, I want you to do product demo and customer onboarding. Do you understand? So when you are able to track time, if you are able to properly track time, maybe you have, for example, maybe the way they came to you and they tell you they're going to pay you according to the number of clients that you onboard or according to the number of clients that you meet with. What tracking will help you do is, you are able to keep record. Oh, I met with 3 clients today, and I spent 60 minutes each. Or client A, I spent 35 minutes with client A. Client B, I spent 28 minutes with client B. Client C probably was not very, very good with technology. So I spent 60 minutes with client C because I had to take client C through, I had to explain, and I had to go really, really deep and explain, even like a layman to client C. So that helps you now charge. So if, for example, you are charging per hour, per the number of time that you have spent, you're able to charge properly because you are tracking your time. You know that client A, you spent 25 minutes. Client B, you spent 30 minutes. Client C, you spent 1 hour, 20 minutes. And so you can now charge accurately because you were tracking time. But imagine if you didn't track time and everything gets work. That is like I spent it's like I spent how many times did I spend? That doesn't show you as a professional. And funny thing is that you might even now undercharge yourself. I don't want, well, let me just put 20 minutes for everybody, Jerry. You can't, don't do that. Or you now overcharge and say, please, I will put 2 hours for everybody because I cannot even, no, you can't also, because we are people of integrity, right? We do business with integrity. You can't also overcharge a client. So to avoid these instances, you need to properly track your time. Good. Now, task prioritization. It helps you allocate time for urgent projects. And this is also very useful if you work with a company. It's useful for you as a freelancer. It's useful for you if you are directly hired by a company. So, for example, if you have urgent tasks, right? Maybe tasks that are really, really high priority, because you know how much time you spend, you are able to allocate proper time. So let's say you have maybe let's say you have like maybe managing emails and scheduling meetings. Maybe you have, okay, let me give you three tasks. Managing emails, like you want to check, look through your client's emails or your boss's email, just because maybe a lot of emails came in over the weekend and you want to just check through, look through, clear out the emails. Then you also have scheduling meetings, right? There are probably a lot of people that have reached out, asking to schedule meetings, and you need to check their calendar to check, oh, what time is available, what time am I not is not available. I need to schedule meetings and I need to get back to the people to let them know what dates are available and all of those things. And then you have maybe travel booking. Yeah, traveling, and you also need to book their calendar, because you know how much. So if you want to work on that, you can decide that, okay, which is more priority. And not, you have like about maybe 8 hours in a day to work. Oh, which is more priority? Okay, it seems like the calendar management is more priority for you. All right, how many hours do I spend on calendar management? Maybe I can spend like 1 hour, so allocate 1 hour to that. Next thing I know I'm going to do, okay, I know I'm going to spend the next task is probably travel scheduling. I need to schedule their travel. I need to schedule his travel ASAP. The next one is probably email management. You will know how many hours or how long it will take you. So you are not scheduling 30 minutes for a task that you know that should actually take you 1 hour or 1 hour 30 minutes. But because you have scheduled 30 minutes for that task, you don't have, and you have also already arranged your day, because I understand. I hope everybody here should have a to-do on how they want to spend their day. So you feel like, oh, the important task, you have given time to it. The ones that are less important, you are giving time to it. So your day is fully booked. And then you now start the important task, and you now realize that, there's no time, or this time is not enough. But yet you have already, even maybe you have one scheduled meetings that you will be in for the rest of the day. How would you get yourself out of that situation? Let me recap again. You have an urgent situation. You wanted to schedule your day, right? You wanted to put urgent tasks, and then you also had a couple of meetings, and then you scheduled maybe 3 hours for your very urgent and priority tasks in the morning, and then the rest of the day you had to schedule meetings with your boss. You had to maybe schedule like you had to schedule a meeting, you had to schedule another, just put in things on that during those the remaining hours of the day. And then you started with your very urgent tasks, and you scheduled 3 hours, but by the time it was already 3 hours, you found out that you have not gotten up to half, and you're now wondering, hey, this task is very urgent though, what will I do? Meanwhile, know that you already still have other things you had scheduled in your day. That is not a good situation to be in. It is not. So it is better for you to track your time, so you know that, this particular task, on the average, it takes me 5 hours, so let me allocate 5 hours to it. And then I can now, whatever is left, I can now put other things. But you see, these ones, I know it takes you 5 hours to do. So that way you know that you are able to properly allocate your time. Okay? All right. Now, prevention of scope creep. Basically, scope creep is when you are doing extra work without additional compensation. This is most likely for freelancers. As if you are hired by a company, you probably don't have you most likely would, your scope would definitely creep, right? Because on your terms, on your conditions of employment, or your offer letter, you're going to see other duties as assigned by your executive or assigned by your line manager. So for those ones, if your duties even extend, depending on the kind of agreement you have, you might likely do more than what is on your JD, right? So, but this is most likely to the freelancers. You have an agreement with your client. Your client tells you, oh, I want you to do just product demo and customer onboarding, and then by the time you came, you found out that somehow this customer onboarding that you did, or you had to add maybe what now to it, you had to add technical or product documentation. You had to write about the product, because the person that you are onboarding is not very tech savvy, And so you have to write, like, do like a documentation for the client that is outside of what they initially hired you to do. But because you were tracking what you were doing, you can easily charge for it and say, oh, this is what you charged me for, right? This is what I was going to do, but based off of my meeting with XYZ, I had to include this. Do you get my point? So that way you are able to, you know what you're doing. Or for example, if you are probably hired to work for maybe 3 hours, you are given a task to do, and it was going to take you 3 hours to do. But somehow, by no fault of yours, not because you did not plan your time or whatever, maybe they added something else to it, and then the task now increased to 5 hours. Because you are tracking your time, you already know that, oh, this is 5 hours, and then you add it should definitely extend. Or maybe they came and told you, oh, I want you to onboard 3 clients for me, and then you onboarded, somehow 3 clients became 5 clients, and then you spent more time. That is extending beyond the scope. So that way, because you are tracking things, you can tell them that, oh, I initially was going to spend 3 hours on this task, but you brought in 2 more people, and then the time I was supposed to spend now increased to 5 hours. So I'm going to charge for the extra 2 hours. That is, you are able to do that because you are tracking your time. But if you're not tracking, how would you even know? How? So that's very, very important. Okay? Tracking your time helps you to prevent scope creep. All right? So I hope we're following. Now, let's talk about invoicing. I hope we're following. Please just be sure we're on the same page. I hope we're tracking. Okay. Also want to give you one more example of scope creep. If, for example, you're a medical virtual assistant, maybe a medical VA, right? And maybe the contract that you signed was probably to update patient records. You needed to update patient records and all that. But then somehow, your clients reached out and said, oh, I want you to help, I want you to research medical suppliers. I'm running low on inventory, or there's a particular stock, there's a particular product that I need to get into my hospital. So I want you to research medical suppliers. Note that you were initially hired to enter patient records, to update patient records, but they've added more to your scope of work. And no problem. Everybody, I mean, it's good, right? But ensure, because you have to keep track of the time that you spent and the work that you have done, so that you can defend your extra charges. Do you understand? Not that you initially agreed to charge a certain amount, and then by the time you're bringing your invoice, they're seeing another amount, and you're like, what's going on? And you're like, did you not know? No, you need to document it. That shows you're a professional. Document it properly. Okay? All right. Now, moving on. The role of invoicing in financial management. Now, remember that I said we're not training you to be roadside VAs. No, we're training you to be professionals. And that's why we are going beyond skill acquisition to even telling you about things like invoicing, things like time tracking. We're not expecting you to reach out to a client, or to want to bill a client, and then you're sending clients a WhatsApp message and saying, two times 5 hours is 50,000 naira. WhatsApp. No, we're not expecting that. Like I said, we're grooming you to be professionals. Okay? We're grooming you to be professional VAs. It is beyond knowing what you're doing. You need to also know how to project yourself to the kind of clients that you want to attract. There's some clients that if you give them if you send them WhatsApp, you can't even communicate with them via WhatsApp. Right? Okay. So now, invoicing. Invoicing is the process of sending a bill to clients for the services you have provided. It's that simple. A well-structured invoice ensures that you get paid on time and minimizes payment disputes. Because everything is well stated on your invoice. There's nothing like, but I said, no, on that day on the phone, when you were talking to me, I said, no, you did not say, no. When you have an invoice, all that drama is eliminated. Because it's just a case of going back to what you sent and showing proof oh, this is it, this is it, this is it, this is it. It's that simple. It's that simple. All right. Now, why is professional invoicing important? I've told you, it helps you keep track. It helps you get paid on time, because there's also a way to there also, I'll take it, I mean, this will be discussed later on. There's certain information that should be on your invoice, so it will help you get paid on time. Even it will even project you as a professional. By the time you are working with a client and then you send them an invoice, they would view you in a different light. Like, oh wow, this person is a professional. Like, invoice, oh okay, oh, this is the level we're at now. Do you understand? So that's why it's really important. And then you're not having to, even there's some invoices that automatically even send reminders to your client. You would put it there like automatic reminders to your client if they have not paid yet. So you don't even need to go on to say, hello, Mao, sorry, oh, please, oh, I just want to remind you about. Come on, we've gone past that. No, that's we're not training you to be that. Okay, so you need to like adopt a professional standpoint in everything you're doing. There's no drama. You can get paid on time. Every information that they need is on your invoice. Even if they need to call you to clarify, oh, I saw this. I mean, nobody's going to come and feel like you are trying to cheat them, because everything is well stated on your invoice. Okay? All right. So now, how does time tracking and invoicing, how do they even work together? Now, time tracking helps you record all the hours spent on a task, and that now feeds into your invoicing. When you track your time accurately, you can produce detailed invoices that break down the task completed, the time spent, and the total amount due. So I'm going to explain that. Time tracking helps you record all the hours spent on your task. So basically, when you're tracking your time, you're able to track, oh, XYZ, track this. I spent 2 hours here. I spent 3 hours there. I spent 5 hours doing this. When you track your time, right, it is based on the time that you have tracked that will now feed into your invoice. It is the time that you have tracked that would enable you know that, okay, I'm going to charge this customer for 5 hours if your agreement is to charge per hour, or if your agreement is to charge according to the task. Okay, I know that I did 5 things, so I will charge according to these 5 things that I have done. So that is what. So you don't. So that's why they work hand in hand. Because if you don't track your time, then how will you just go and pick numbers in the air to feed into your invoice? How would you feed into your invoice? Or how would you populate your invoice? Where would you get the numbers from? And then when your client calls you to dispute the invoice and say, no, I didn't add this, you don't even have backup, no proof, nothing. So that's why it's very important. Okay, it helps you break down, oh, if it's a social media management job that you are doing. Okay, I created content, I created reels. Oh, I spent time, producing, designing the images that will go with the reels. And this, it helps you even understand, know how you are even working, so that you're not undercharged. And then when they pay you the money, you're like, now wow, all the time I spent on this work, look at how much they even paid me. And then you are feeling underpaid. But if you're able to track, oh, I spent 2 hours creating this content. I spent 1 hour designing the graphics that will go with this reel. I spent 3 hours scheduling and responding to comments on Instagram. And then you're able to accurately put these things out. And even when you are charging, yes, you are charging for the work that you have done. You're not being undercharged, and then or maybe a situation whereby you have even sent, imagine a situation whereby you have sent the bill to the customer or the client, and then you remember that, oh my goodness, I responded to comment too, and I did not add it to the, I mean, you can't, that's not professional. But when you are that's not very professional. But when you're tracking these things, right, it helps you accurately bill the customer. So time tracking is what feeds into your invoice. Okay, so now I gave a scenario here. So for example, you were a social media assistant and you spent 8 hours creating and scheduling content for your client's Instagram account. By using a time tracker like Toggle, I'm going to talk more on this, don't worry. By using a time tracker like Toggle, you would record every minute that you spent. That's one thing that Toggle will help you do. I'm going to explain that. Don't worry. No, don't worry. I'll explain. Toggle would help you record every minute that you spent on the different things that you did. So if you did research, you would record it. How many hours or how long did it take you to do your research? If you had to do content writing for the client account, how many minutes or how many hours did it take you to do the content writing? If you had to design graphics, how long did it take you to design the graphic? You can do all of that on Toggle. And then when it's time for you to invoice the client, you can now generate your invoice based on the hours of work that you did with the description. So nobody feels like anybody is being cheated, because the client will be able to see it. Oh, she spent 2 hours creating content. Okay, she spent 3 hours doing the designs. She even did 5 designs. Okay, she spent another 2 hours doing research. Okay. Then altogether, that's 8 hours. You can't understand. Unlike if you just come and say, "Hello, ma, I spent 8 hours on the work, oh, so your money is." I mean, she'll probably feel like you want to even cheat her. What do you mean? 8 hours for what? Why? Is it not just to write? Is it not just to post? But when you put these things on a document, you break it down, then they're able to see the kind of creative process that goes into it, and they would even appreciate you more. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? Please let me know if we're together. All right. Okay. Please let me know if we're together. We have 8 minutes to our break time. So I don't want to go into, because the next slide is hands-on. And I don't want us to start and then break it. Okay? So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to take questions at this point. We have 7 minutes to break. So I'll take questions for this 7 minutes. And by the time we come back, we'll then start our exercise, where I'll be introducing you to different time tracking tools. And then we will now have to download a time tracking tool, an invoicing tool, and see how it works. Okay? So that is going to happen after the break. All right. Can sheets be used to create an invoice? Well, Rukewe, sheets can be used to create an invoice. However, it's a bit manual. Well, yeah, it depends on your level of it depends on how technical you are. You can impute formulas and do all of those things to your sheet, and then to make it like semi-automated, or to make it automated, right? But that's like really, really technical. We have softwares, we have apps that have been designed for this process, where you just impute your tasks, track your time, and then it will even help you generate reports. It will generate your invoice for you. It will even help you even send it as an email, or any medium through which, what the medium you prefer to communicate with your clients. So yes, you can use sheets, but I would honestly not advise it, because it is a lot of work. It is a lot of manual work, except you are very technical and you know how to put in formulas to make things automated on sheets. They have a template on sheet as well, I believe, for invoicing. But yeah, I'd rather not go that route. So, do I pay tax to the Nigerian government as a freelancer? Yes, you should pay tax to the If you're in Nigeria, yes, you should pay tax to the government as a freelancer. Who is a freelancer? A freelancer is one who does who does, like, you take on clients. You know how you're not. So just give me a second. Let me give you like a very professional, a very professional response. So basically, a freelancer is an independent contractor. You earn wage on a per job or a per task basis, right? So basically, the difference between a freelancer and yourself is, and sorry, and a person who works with a company under like direct employment is that for a company, you are you are paid at the end of the month, or you are under their direct employment. You have an offer letter. Freelancers also have letters, of they have contract letters, but the difference is that as a freelancer, you are paid per job. Do you get it? You are paid per job, you are paid per task. Someone can reach out to you and say, oh, I want you to just answer comments on my Instagram account for me. That's all they are going to pay you for. you know. So yeah, that's, I hope I was able to answer that. I don't know, but that's like the best. If I find a very okay, yeah, someone who does particular pieces of work for different organizations rather than working all the time for a single organization. Yeah, that's it. An individual who makes money on a per job basis is a freelancer. So you work per job, and they usually earn on a per task basis and generally work for a short time. So yeah, that's it. Basically, a person who pursues a profession without a long-term commitment to one employer. Yes. Yes, 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 correct. A person who, I think that's better. A person who, sorry, I just saw that. A person who is self-employed and not necessarily committed to a particular employer long term. So yeah, I hope that explains what freelancer means. Please, if I pay tax for my company, will I still pay for myself separately? So Deborah, I don't understand. When you say do you own a company? Like, are you the owner of a company? Let me know, please. I don't quite understand. When you say pay tax for your company, are you the owner of your company, or are you an accountant and you remit? I really don't. Maybe you should shed more light on that. I'm on a is it advisable to be a freelancer as someone who's starting a job? Oh, sure, why not? You can start as a freelancer, you can start as an employee of an organization. Why not? I mean, that's okay. That is absolutely fine for you to do. So they were you said you're the owner of your company. Huh. So for this, I'm not a tax consultant, right? So I think it's better you reach out to a tax consultant that will properly advise you. Because I know that in Nigeria there are a lot of rules around taxing. You have personal income tax, you have separate tax filing, there's sole proprietorship. So I don't know how, there's just a lot of ways around this where they probably see you as a different, if you're a sole proprietor, you're not considered a separate entity from your business, right? But again, like I said, please, I'm not a professional tax consultant. You can see a tax consultant that will advise you properly on what to do and how to go about it. Okay, on how to get across to a tax consultant. I mean, I guess you can. I don't know. Maybe I know LI. We have people who work with Lagos Internal LIRS, and I'm sure they'll be very happy to provide guidance. Okay, so Precious said, can I take up a physical job first as a customer service rep to learn about the system? Oh, sure, why not? I mean, that's fine. You can take it up. It's up to you. And then when you're fully into it, then you can decide to transition to VA. That's perfectly okay as well. Deborah said, okay, yeah. So Deborah, you can reach out to any you can, if there's you can always reach out to a tax consultant. They are better suited to give you advice, right? And they also help you know how best to pay tax without being like over exploited as well, where you're not paying more than you should be paying. So yeah, it's better you speak to them and then they will advise you appropriately. Okay, so I think we are 1 minute to 8 o'clock now. We'll go on a 10-minute break. We're back at 8:10. Hmm. When we come back, please get ready to get hands on, get your devices ready. If you have it, I would really advise you to get your devices ready. Like have a separate device. So maybe you have like one. You can just ask somebody if you have only maybe one phone and you don't have another device. You can just ask somebody in your house just at least lend you their device for 1 hour. If you have two devices, fantastic. You can join the call on one device and then you did exercise on another device. So please use this period to get your devices ready because we're going hands on once we come back from break. 8:10 p.m. I'll see you guys in a bit. Hello, everyone. Mic check. Please let me know you can hear me. Mic check, everybody. Mic check, mic check. Mic check, please. Awesome, awesome. Okay, great. And I hope we have our two devices ready. Please let me know if you have your devices, two devices ready. Just put ready. Let me see ready, 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 ready in the comments. Ready, 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 ready. Ready, ready, ready. Let me see ready, ready, ready in the comments. Awesome. Great. Great, great. Love it. Love the energy in the room. Okay. All right. So, time tracking tools. Okay. Time tracking tools. So, basically, here's how this section will go. We will look at, so I'm going to take you through the different tools. After I have taken you through the different tools, we would then, based on the one you prefer, or based on the one you feel like you like, or the one or the one that has a better interface for you, you will then go on either Google's Play Store or Apple Store to download it. When you download, okay, don't worry, I don't want to jump ahead of myself. Let me start the time tracking tools. So the first one we're going to be talking about, I have listed out three. The first one is Toggle. Okay, so it's Toggle and it has different features, right? It's very ideal if you have multiple clients. It's good for you. This is not to say that if you have only one client, you cannot use it. Of course you can, but if you have multiple clients, this is a great tool for you. The good thing with Toggle is that it has like a report system where you are able to download. Yes, you can download on the system too. It has a report system where you are able to see where your time is going. So you know how many, you're able, it will give you a report where you will see that, oh, you spent XYZ total amount of time this week, or you spent XYZ total amount of time doing that task. Like you have a report format. So at a glance, you can see where where your time is going, what you are spending the most time doing, and then you'll be able to tell if you are wasting time or not, right? Then it has the Pomodoro mode. Who can tell me what Pomodoro is? Who can tell me what Pomodoro is, please? So basically, just to save time, Pomodoro is a time management method, right? And it helps you to break work into intervals. Okay, so it helps you to break work into intervals. Basically, that's just what it is. It should help you. It's just it's a time management method where they feel like you should not go at a stretch, you know, to do like a task. Don't sit down at a stretch doing only one task and then taking hours. They feel like you can focus on one task for 5 to 25 minutes, have like a quick break of 3 to 5 minutes. After the break, go back to work for another 25 minutes. They feel like it helps you become more like your productivity is better than just sitting down on one task at a stretch and then just, yeah, that's just, so you can use Pomodoro on Toggle as well. Of course, it has time customization. You can customize your time. Then you can use widgets. So basically, widget is you're working on your laptop and then you can see, like, the logo or the icon will be somewhere on. It doesn't have to cover your whole screen, right? It will be somewhere on your laptop where you can monitor. So for example, if you have set a timer, like, okay, if you have set a timer to do a particular task for maybe 35 minutes, you are able to minimize, and then you just see a small widget on your screen showing you, counting down for you. Oh, 35 minutes, 28 minutes, you can do all of that. Then of course it is free to use, because I know that a lot of us are still beginners and you don't have the, like, it's not advisable at this time to start spending a lot of money when you're starting to make money. So it is very free to use and it is ad free. So this is not a tool where you are working and then one Superman just jumps in the middle of your work and trying to, like, all of that. You don't have it here. So it's ad free as well. Okay. So you can create different projects for each client and you can also track time spent. This is an example. If you are a SaaS virtual assistant, for example, you can create different projects. Maybe for client A tells you that, oh, they want you to work on client A tells you they want you to maybe work on product demo. Client B tells you they want you to um work on product documentation. Client C tells you they want you to work on client onboarding. So you can create different projects, for different clients. So this is also to say, you see why I said that I'm not really I don't really support using Google Sheets for this, because this has already helped you. You can segment your work. If you have different clients, oh, this client A said you should work on product demo. You have a project, a section for client A. Client B tells you, I want you to work on product documentation. So you have a whole project space for client B on Toggle. Client C tells you, okay, I want you to work on customer onboarding. You have another project for clients. So nothing is mixing up, nothing is, everything is properly segmented. So yeah, that's about Toggle. Now, for Clockify is another time management tool. This is free as well. It's user friendly and it's perfect for beginner VA. So if you're a beginner, this is also a good one for you. Even though personally, though, my personal bias, I love the. Okay, no, I'm not going to say my personal bias, so you guys will not use that too. But let's continue. So you have an offline time tracker. So what this means is you don't even have to be online. You don't even need to have data to be able to track your time. You can track your whatever you're doing, you can track it offline. Okay. And then if you forgot to also track manually, so maybe for some reason, I don't advise this anyway, but we are humans, right? So maybe for some reason you were working on a client's project and you totally forgot to click on your timer to track your time, or you forgot, like, oh my goodness, I was supposed to click on the timer to track my time. What you should do is you can always impute your time. Like, oh, on this project I spent 25 minutes, so you can add your time manually, right? So there's that. Then also this one also, you can put expenses here, and then you can also add your receipts. So if your work is maybe something that's required, maybe data, for example, maybe your client says, oh, they're going to give you allowance, maybe data allowance in addition to your salary, and they want to see maybe the receipts for your data purchases, or they want to pay for your maybe lights usage or whatever it is that they're paying for, you can upload your receipts to Toggle. Or maybe if you're working with a Nigerian client and they tell you, okay, I need you to maybe pay for a software that we maybe pay for Zoom or something, and you want to upload your receipt, you can always do that here. And of course, any expense that you have also incurred, it should be part of the client's projects. Okay. You can also track your time as well. When you're working and you're tracking your time, it's just show, and it doesn't have to cover your screen entirely. It's just show in a very small section, and then you can easily track your time. So I just gave a use case here. A medical VA that is assisting with appointments and patient records can easily log the time per patient or appointment. So if you spent maybe whatever, if you want to log the record according to the time that you spent on each patient, you can always log it on Clockify. All right, so the last one here, I just did 3. There are a couple of others, but for time's sake and for space sake, I just did 3. Harvest, okay. So Harvest, this one on Play Store is Harvest time tracking. Because if you say Harvest, you're going to see a lot of different harvests. So Harvest time tracking. So this one combines time tracking with invoicing. Now, there are also invoice apps as well, but this one you can, at the same time, whilst you are tracking your time, you can also do that with invoicing. So the same app that allows you to track your time is the same app that you can use to invoice as well. So you don't have to go to another app to do your invoicing. You can do everything on the same app. Then this one is also very good for teamwork. If you have like a team, or maybe God has established you now have a lot of or a lot of clients, and you now need to delegate, and you get a lot of people working with you. You can use this to also track what they are doing. Check people or check on people rather than having to call and say, "Hey, hello, this client work, how far?" You can do all that here. You see how many minutes they have spent on what they have done. You see where they are at, where have they gotten to, what is their progress level. You can see it here. Then you can also capture receipts as well and log expenses as well on your Harvest app. Okay, so very quickly, based off of this, let me just know in the comment. Like, tell me which is your most favorite app. Like, put it in the comments. What's your favorite app out of like all of these whole three and the features that I have mentioned? What's your favorite? What's your favorite app? Not app, please. What's your favorite app? Let me know. Let me see in the comments. Let me see in the comment section. What's your favorite one? Like the one you really, really, really like. And Harvest can also integrate as well. With if you have other, you can also integrate too. If you have other maybe bigger softwares, I don't think for this level you need it yet, but yeah, just thought to mention that as well. Yeah. Okay, awesome. So some people said Clockify and Harvest, Toggle, Harvest, Toggle. I thought you guys would even say Harvest, but it's okay. Clockify because of the offline tracking feature. Okay. Clockify, Harvest. Okay, awesome, awesome. All right, great. So now what we're going to do, right, is we are now going to download our favorite app. Whichever one is your favorite, whichever one is the one you prefer to work with. Please, it is now time to download. And when you have only, please, it doesn't take long to download anything. Only 5 minutes, please. Only 5 minutes. Download your app. Only 5 minutes. Only 5 minutes. Please download your app because we're going to have a task on that app that you have downloaded before we come back to class tomorrow. So please download your app. Download your app. Also, another good thing about Harvest is that you can start and stop your timer. So if, for example, you are working on a client's project, maybe it was supposed to take you 5 hours, and then you obviously need to take a break. You can stop the timer. Maybe you stopped at maybe 1 hour 15 minutes. Stop your timer, and then when you're ready, you can come back to it. So you know that it's not just running all through. All right. And then on Harvest as well. Oh my gosh, it seems like I'm marketing for Harvest. Sorry. Please download whichever one you prefer. Don't mind me. Please download whichever one you prefer. So you can send professional invoices and reminders as well on Harvest. Automatically send it. So yeah, just download whichever one you prefer, please. Whichever one works best for you. Whichever one you prefer, please download it. You have 5 minutes. Okay, I'll give it to 8:30 to finish downloading. Download, not just download, please download and like if you need to create an account or register, please do it. Like do that as well. So 8:30 we'll be back to class. We have an exercise ongoing. 8:30 we'll be back to class. Okay, so teaching assistants, please, if you could help put the names of the apps on the chat so people can so in case people need the names and they're not maybe mixing things up or misspelling. So please help put the names on the chat. It's Harvest, it's Toggle, and Clockify in case anybody needs it. That'll be greatly appreciated. Thank you, TAs. Okay, so I know some people have been asking if Harvest is free. So Harvest is free for some functionalities, right? You can only access some parts of Harvest free. However, if you want to access like advanced functionalities like the reporting feature, then you have to pay. Okay? Yeah. Okay, so I was gonna say something now. For Clockify can also track invoicing, but that particular feature is not free. Um, Confidence, I don't understand. You can't find any of the tools on your Microsoft Store. That's, I mean, I don't. It's on Play Store and it's on Apple Store, so you should find them there. People are downloading already. And then you can download all three if you want to. I think I saw a question like that. You can download all three if you want to, basically. And then of course when you use it, you find out which one you prefer, and then you can delete the remaining two. Okay. Because sometimes I need to work with all three to know which one best suits you and your work style. Okay. So yeah. 1 minute to go. 1 minute to go. One more minute. One more minute. Oh, can she download it online? Of course, you can download it on your system. You should be able to do that. Try. Yes, you can. I just checked. You can download on your system. Yep. You have toggle for Mac and Windows. So yes, you can. All right. Okay, so I think we're good now. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. So let's move on. Let's move on. So Rukawa, what is not on Microsoft? Because I just text toggle. Toggle is on Microsoft. That's Windows, so it's on Microsoft. It depends on the browser. If you can use Chrome, I'm sure Chrome will make things a lot more easier for you. Okay, so we're done with class. We're done with the exercises. Please let me know if you have downloaded. Just type downloaded in the chats. I gave more than 5 minutes already. I gave more than 5 minutes. So please, look at when you say you're using the web, Chrome is also on the web as well. So which browser are you using? I would advise using Chrome, Google Chrome, because that will help you a lot. But this, I can confirm that Toggle is on Windows. Harvest, someone also already confirmed it. So please use Google Chrome. Yeah, downloaded. Thank you everyone for downloading. Have you signed up? Have you signed up? Have you signed up? Have you created your account? Have you created your accounts? Have you done that? Because I'm going to give you a task after the class, before the class is done. All right. And we will all submit that. We'll come to class tomorrow with that task. So please download. Awesome. Yay. Okay. So moving on. Understanding invoicing, right? We talked about invoicing already, touched on it earlier when we were talking about the relationship between time tracking and invoicing. So it's very important to understand invoicing, okay? You can't just put anything together. There are some elements that your invoice should have, all right? There's certain things your invoice should actually have. Let's see. Can anybody tell me, what do you think? What are the basic things you think an invoice should have? Anybody? Okay, date, particulars, cost of services rendered. Okay, thank you. All right, detailed report on expenses. Okay, thank you. So, invoicing is critical to getting paid on time. Okay, your invoice should be clear, professional, and include all the necessary details for prompt payments. Okay, so your invoice is very important. Like, you can't send, imagine sending an invoice and you don't even have your bank details. Like, where do you want them to send the money to? Where? Imagine sending an invoice and then you didn't even put in the amount. Please, do you want the customer to be able to calculate the amount for you? So your invoice is important because you don't want a situation whereby your customer is not calling, please now add your account details to this invoice now. Like, no. So your invoice should be clear. It should be professional. Please don't just bring something anyhow and you throw it in and looks like what we don't understand. It should be professional and you can include all the necessary details for prompt payments. Imagine if you put in your invoice, for example, maybe you already said, okay, you're going to charge, you agreed with your client at the start of the project that this task is maybe going to cost 50,000 naira. And you started, and maybe on your own end, probably, or the clients gave you more work, or something happened, and basically, you had to, what the cost of the project or what you did was 70,000 naira. And on your invoice, there's no explanation or as to why 50,000 became 70,000. That was why the 50,000 that was agreed on became 70,000 all of a sudden. Nothing like that. You just put the cost this one 70,000 fiam, and then you said to the client, no breakdown, no explanation, nothing. That's not professional. All right, that is not professional at all. So you need to include anything that would help the client make payments promptly. Include it. Ensure it is clear. Ensure it is well understood. Ensure it is professional. Don't put your invoice like you are. I mean, be very professional at it, so that even when your client sees it, they'll be like, wow, I'm dealing with a professional VA here. Okay, so key component of a professional invoice: business information. Please include your name and your contact details. If you don't have like a proper, like an actual business registered, your own personal name, please add it. If you have a business, please put your business name. Don't let us see a headless invoice, no name. You don't even know where the invoice is coming from. Your client does not even know that it is you. You just sent something, like they don't even understand, and they will go, oh, which invoice is this? So please put a name, put your contact details, your phone number, your email address. Please include it on your invoice. The client's information also needs to be on the invoice, because you are not dealing with only one client, you're dealing with multiple clients, right? So you don't want to get confused and you're not like, this is this invoice. Is it for this client? No, maybe it's the other one that is for that client. No, maybe this is no. Just put the client's name and business address on the invoice. It's that simple. Then the services rendered, please be specific. Don't just lump everything together and say, content creation, 8 hours. Put the price, and the client is wondering, when did you do this, when did you do this work? So be specific. Oh, content creation, header. Underneath it, graphic design, research, content writing, design, whatever you need to put everything. So it is very, very clear. Okay? If, for example, you're a medical VA, you have, maybe if, for example, what you did was patient record update, you put it there. Appointment scheduling, put it there. Insurance claim, put it there. Or whatever, put it there. So that the client can see what they are paying for. Alright, and then it will also avoid disputes, like, oh no, this is not what you did. No, why did you incur this cost? Why is it expensive now? What is to avoid all those things? Then your payment terms is important. Like, if for example you ask you this might not really happen often, but if for any reason, or maybe you have to send an invoice before the job is done, and then you know that some clients that will not come back until after maybe 4 months or 3 months, and you know that, okay, once your own pricing is only valid for 1 month, after 1 month you can increase your pricing, please state it on your invoice. Prices are only valid for 1 month, so that the client knows, right? So include your pricing. If your own, the way you run your business is, okay, after 1 month, I mean, payment has to come in 7 days maximum or 3 days maximum. After that, maybe you begin to charge late fees or what. Just ensure everything is stated clearly on your invoice, so that your client is not wondering, when did we agree on this one again, right? And this is not to say that you should turn your invoice to an ebook. Please, you can be succinct, just clear, just put it one, very, very clear and concise. You're not trying to write a novel, right? Or bore your client. Then please add payment terms. Please add payment terms to it. You define the due date. Okay, I already said that. Then invoice number. Okay, so it's very, if you see a lot of some invoices, you see something like, oh, B0102, B0, depending on how you can draft, you can form your invoice number depending on however you want to form. If you want to do it payment per task or whatever, it is really up to you. There's nothing serious about that. Okay, so please input your invoice number. It will help you track your payments, okay, and resolve any dispute. All right, so that's that about invoicing for VAs. Invoicing is actually pretty much easy. Just ensure that everything is clear and concise, because this is your payment. This is what you used to collect money from your client. You don't want to make mistakes. Okay. Now, financial reporting. Okay, financial reporting. Do you have any questions on invoicing? For invoicing, there are actually softwares that can be used to invoice. Maybe I'll start from there tomorrow. Invoicing softwares. I'll start from there tomorrow. But for now, hope do you have any question? Yeah, I'll start from invoicing. So I'll show you some apps that can help you with invoicing. Okay. I'll show you some apps that can help you invoicing. How can you create an invoice number? To be honest, an invoice number there's no formula to create an invoice number. It can be I mean, of course, as a beginner, right? You can decide to create it. Oh, your name is Rukewell. Maybe your invoice number can be RU001 for the first job that you get. The next one can be RU002. It's basically a means to just differentiate. It depends on you. If you want to create your invoice number according to maybe the kind of job, the work that you do. If, for example, maybe content creation, maybe your own is, oh, if they want you to schedule emails, scheduling emails SE221, for graphic design GD880. So it really depends, okay? So there's no hard and fast rule as to creating invoice numbers. It's just essentially to differentiate. Okay. So Abigail asks that does time tracking and financial invoicing apply to full-time employment? So time tracking, absolutely yes. It applies to full-time employment because you need to track your time. You need to manage your time. You need to, if for and I'm not sure, I don't think you were in the class from the beginning because I already explained how important it is to full-time employment as well. If you have a lot of full-time employment, obviously let's say you have 8 hours a day to get your job done, and for example you have what's it called now, out of 8 hours to get your job done, you need to schedule tasks. You have priority tasks that you need to do in the morning, and then you schedule maybe 3 hours for your priority task, and then at the end, towards the afternoon, you added more other things, maybe like meetings and all those other things, and then you realize that your priority task actually took you 5 hours. So this means that something else is bearing the brunt for that time you did not properly scheduled in the earlier in the day. So you need to, for time management, you need to track your time. You need to know how much you're spending on tasks. And what time tracking would even help you do is you would even know if you are wasting time, because there's some things that you spend 2 hours on that you can obviously spend only 1 hour on it. So what time tracking will help you is by the time you are looking at your time and you are looking at how long you spend on is it not this thing? Why am I spending 2 hours on this simple thing? I need to work on my time on the time I spend on this. I can do this within 1 hour. So it's very, very important, please. Very important. As a full-time employee, as a freelancer, you need to track your time. Okay? Now, yeah, someone said you can't sign in, telling you wrong password. You probably inputted the wrong password. So just you can do like a forgot password so that you can reset your password. Okay. Yes. Christine asked about receipts. So yes, these apps can also issue receipts. Yes. Receipts are very important as well. So when your clients make payments, it's also part of the process. That's why I see when I started at the beginning of the class, I said financial management. It is not the process of collect. I did say collection, money collection, or it is a whole system. Okay, and of course, receipts are also a part of it. So once your client pays, you will send over a receipt. And yes, these apps can actually generate receipts for you. It's just that some of them are paid, but yes, you have apps that can do that as well. So by the time we start classes tomorrow, I'll show you them. I would show you apps that can do this for you, free apps actually, where you can get invoices and receipts done for free without paying anything. Okay. So now remember I also talked about when I said financial management, I told you it's like a whole ecosystem, right? It's a it's a whole system, where you have a lot of things basically. It's not just collecting money. So another thing with financial management is financial reporting. Okay? Because you have basically what is financial reporting? It's basically how to is it showing your performance over a particular period. Okay, showing your financial performance over a particular period of time. So documenting your financial activities over a particular period of time. It could be for you, it could be quarterly, it could be monthly, it could be biannually. But I mean, I would actually recommend quarterly because what it does for you is that it helps you see your financial health over time. You're able to tell if you have truly been making profits or if you've been running at a loss or if you've not been charging well. And then it even helps you see how much you have made. Because sometimes when the money is coming in, like maybe 50,000 naira here, 20,000 naira there, 80,000 naira, you might feel like, this money is not plenty. But by the time you look at your financial report over time and you see that, 1 million naira has come in within 3 months, that's amazing. It just puts together all of these things, it consolidates it for you and you're able to see it at a glance. Okay. So to track your income, so I just put some tools and some softwares here. To track your income, you need you can use FreshBooks. Okay. You can use FreshBooks to track how much money you have earned each week or each month. All right. You can also you can also use expense management, because as you are spending, sorry, as you are getting in money, we know you are also spending, so that you can also understand how money is going out of your account. You can get you can use QuickBooks, but QuickBooks is a bit technical. Like it might be too technical for some people, but you can also use that to monitor your expenses. And then the reason this is also very important is for tax remittance, because there's a way they do tax calculations on, expenses and your assets and your liabilities, all those tax calculations. So if you don't even have your financial report, if you don't even have your books in place, what do you want to present to the tax consultant? Using your word of mouth and say, actually, 2 weeks ago I did one job, and they paid me. You can't do that. You need to have evidence. You need to have proof. You need to have it together somewhere, because like I said, these things are important. You might want to apply for a grant tomorrow. You might want to apply for a fellowship next year. You want to apply for even a visa to go out of the country. You want to apply for anything, and they'll tell you, let us see your financial reports, let us see your books, let us see your tax slips over these past years. Let us. So these things are important, so that you not start running up and down when it's time to get these documents together. All right, that's why it's very, very important. So as you're making this money, put your report together. You have your invoicing tools, you have your what's it called? Your invoicing tools, you have your time tracking tools, have your financial reporting tools, where you are able to see everything that has come in over time, you know, come in over time, and then it helps you. Even when even when you want to pay your tax, like when your tax consultant comes and says, okay, let me see. You won't be presenting invoice one after the other. Invoice one, invoice two. They will not help you put it, even if they will view the invoice to maybe for verification or whatever. But they're not the ones to help you consolidate it in a in a sheet or somewhere so they can see it, right? It's your duty to do that. It helps you a lot. You are able to tell the health of your business. You can tell what is going out, what you are spending money on, what is a waste, which software is not necessary and you are paying for. It really helps you see these things at a glance. Okay, so like I said earlier, we're not training you to be roadside VAs. We're training you to be professionals. You can become a VA, and you can decide to even apply for a global talent visa if you have worked in the tech industry for a while. You need to present these things. What is your contribution to the tech space? You need to get familiar, love documentation. Love it. Okay? Please love documentation. It's very important. All right, because it helps you. It's numbers, it's data, it's proof. You can't just say word of mouth and say, aha, I've made over 2 million naira in the past 6 months. Good. Please, let's see the evidence. Where is the 2 million naira? Can we see your evidence, please? All right. So please, that's very, very, very important. Okay, so to tomorrow's task. All right. Now I know a lot of us probably have not. We probably do not have clients yet, right? However, so for tomorrow's task, you are going to be your own clients. Pick 2 different things that you would do for a client, and you're going to do it for yourself tomorrow. Track the time on the app that you have downloaded. Track the time. So basically, use the app. You are the client. You are to choose your task. Choose how much your preferred number of time, the project scope, all of the information. Just like I said, tomorrow you are your own client. At least you can do more than 2 tasks. So, and if you're even working, right? If you probably have like a 9 to 5 and you're doing, you can use it. So maybe you have a task that you're supposed to do tomorrow. Maybe you're supposed to work on a project or work on a document for your boss, or maybe do a support task, attend to calls. Track it. Put all the questions that they ask, the project scope, the project whatever, impute it, right? Track your time. You can set the time. How long do I want to spend on this particular task? Impute. Basically, like use that app tomorrow, because you're going to come back to give me a report on your findings. How was it for you? Did it help you? Did it help you manage your time better? Interact with the app. Okay, you're going to submit. Like, I'm going to hopefully before the end of today, I would submit how you would. I would share a report format with the TAs on your findings. Okay, for tomorrow's task, I'll share it with them tonight, and then I'll share it with them tonight, and then you can. They will probably post it on Telegram or somewhere to guide you, because you're going to do a report on that particular tool that you used. There are certain things you put on the report. So yeah, that's. I hope this assignment is very clear. So we have 8 minutes to go. If you have any questions, maybe on the assignment or on the class, please, this is a good time to ask. Thank you very much.